Sonic Forces Overclocked is everything I could have wanted from Sonic Forces. This mod promises to get the thrilling level design of Sonic Unleashed in Generations with the Sonic Forces style, and man, did it deliver. I really want to stress that this is not a Sega bad fan-made good video. I'm coming from the angle of someone who actually likes Sonic Forces and wants to see it as good as I know it can be. What I'm really trying to say is, this video is not coming from a place of hatred. I know comparing official titles of fan-made projects is now controversial in the Sonic community, but my take on that is, within reason, I think comparing is fine. Saying, I think this fan game does this design aspect great, and I wish Sonic Team would consider taking elements from this and incorporating them to the next game, and better than the slop Sega makes, hashtag better than Sega, hashtag Omen Sweep, hashtag Bad Omen, are two completely different things. One is coming from a place of hatred and negativity, while the other goes, this is good, but we can show you how much potential this thing has. Someone got mad at me for comparing Sonic 3 Era to Origins, and I disagree with this way of thinking purely because all I want out of Origins is Lives and Anniversary mode. Of course, I do not expect Sega to include all the options Era has. I'm not an idiot, but I do ask for at least some bare bones selection. Basically, if you want to get mad at me for comparing, go for it, but at least understand where I'm coming from here. Going into it, I thought this was some sort of rewrite, but no, it's actually a sequel to Forces, which is awesome. Metal Sonic is sent to get the remains of the Phantom Ruby when suddenly Metal Sonic transforms into Neo Metal Sonic. I was not expecting Neo Metal to show up. I love Neo Metal, and any action he gets is amazing. I won't spoil the plot for those who actually want to play it blind, which I recommend everyone does, but the gist, Neo Metal and Infinite work together to take over the world. Sonic friends have to stop them. There are some cool moments between Sonic and the Rookie, which I like. However, the apology scene kinda left me a bit...
Okay. Look, what I'm trying to say is, I'm sorry. I went in over my head and nearly screwed everything up.
But after that, I have no complaints. The interactions between Infinite and Neo are glorious. They're like an old married couple. Honestly, the character interactions in general are amazing. I especially love when Sonic was explaining to Silver who Neo Metal is.
I don't think I was there for that one. What is he, like a neon Metal Sonic?
Not quite. More so, Eggman decided to give Metal Sonic an upgrade one day, which royally backfired. Without Eggman's leash, Metal Sonic is crazy dangerous.
The story is grandiose. A good premise is nothing without good execution, and Sonic Forces Overclocked proves that. Even if a story in a game is bad, as long as it's presented in a cool way, I can get some enjoyment out of it, which is absolutely not the case here. I think the story is great. We get to see the story unfold instead of fade to black with Eggman conquers the world. The story itself is presented through drawings, and for what I can tell, there's a ton of talented artists who worked on this. But I'll admit, I had no idea this image came from this game, so the jump scare had me rolling on the floor laughing. But I am so sorry to the artist if this picture of Sonic wasn't intended to be funny, but holy shit, is it hilarious. The game is fully voice acted, and I have to say I'm impressed with everyone's voices, and I hope everyone here pursues voice acting if they so desire. Now it's time to talk about the gameplay, the part I was personally interested in the most. Everyone told me I needed to check this out, and oh my, were they right! This mod uses a majority of the same themes but remixes them to the point where they don't even feel the same. For example, instead of going through Green Hill immediately, it starts off in Starlight Zone. It makes you work your way to Green Hill. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a fan mod. It makes the world feel real and connected. Also, playing Starlight Zone in 3D is such a treat. To start, let's just say the level design is amazing! From the start to the end, my jaw remained on the floor. Remember how in the OG Forces, most of the levels were spectacle? For example, when the custom character was using his grappling hook to do crazy moves? Well, here you actually get to swing around with the grappling hook. I always wanted to do that in Sonic Forces. The integration of spectacle and gameplay is near flawless. Automation? Old news. Good luck trying to beat any of these stages with one hand. One element of the original I felt had the most potential was the Sonic and Rookie stages. Both get to use their powers here without feeling clunky. Custom character isn't just burst wisp to the end of the level, nor a Sonic boost to win. In the Forces video, I said that the illusions were cool on paper but never fully realized. That game does a horrible job at immersing you into its world. Well, here you actually get to fight the crazy monster Infinite, run through space while a crazy dogfight takes place, raiding Chemical Plant with Team Chaotix, and it's awesome! Seriously, this game had me smiling the entire time. I deadass shed a tear while playing Sonic's levels. The amount of alternate pathways, fun obstacles, and challenge that's here is just wonderful. I'm not kidding either. I got mostly C's and B's this playthrough. It feels good to suck. That's how it was in the previous Boost titles. You have to master the level layouts, not getting hit of 1 or 2 shots every time. Something that I realized while playing Overclocked is part of the reason why Sonic Forces has such bland level design is the fact that there's almost no obstacles that uses Sonic's moveset. Sonic can slide in Forces, yet literally none of the levels make use of that like in the other games. The stomp to a lesser extent but still applies. I'm always on my toes while playing Overclocked. There will be times where I have to slide under a tight space or make a quick decision, and I am happy to say that the turning has been improved greatly. Now, I will go and admit I was wrong about one thing last time. You actually can turn while boosting Metropolis, but the window to do so is really weird. You have to hold left before you enter the turn, but if you ask me, that doesn't solve the issue. It feels automated, like it's a QTE without the prompts. Turning here though, good turning. That's all I can ask for, honestly. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the platforming while in 2D has been tweaked. It's a lot less stiff. It feels fluid. The soundtrack here is great too. Very talented people who worked on this OST, and I'm a huge fan of the song that plays during the fight with Neo Metal and Infinite. You even get to play as Metal Sonic during episode Metal, which acts as the prologue for the story. And hey, playing as Metal Sonic in Boost is super fun, no complaints, except for the fact I feel like having an episode Metal at all is kind of weird. Same way I thought about episode Shadow and OG Forces. I wish it was playable during the main game. You could say this is no different from the stories in the adventure games, and while I thought so too originally, the difference here is that when you start the story in Forces, you are taken to the main game. If it had the option to pick between which one you wanted from the menu, it would go down a lot easier for me. Maybe a level of Shadow would have been cool. Maybe Infinite personally hunts down Shadow or something? To be clear, Shadow not being here is a flaw or anything, but I was wondering where he was throughout the adventure. But those were super small complaints, to the point where it doesn't even matter. More so just my preference. It's funny because in a way, it feels like Sonic Forces Overclocked was a game that was tailor-made for me. It addresses all of my issues with the original Forces, and surprises me with new ideas I would have never thought about. But you know what? I won't be stingy. This game was made for all Sonic fans who wanted a great experience for Forces. This game oozes with love of the original. I don't sense any sort of malice or hatred. Sure, there are a few lines like,
Green Hill's looking a lot more like a... forget it.
but those are small little jokes that I feel like are more playful than anything else. I'm glad this game is a sequel rather than a rewrite. If it were up to me, I would make this canon. I seriously recommend everyone out there get Sonic Forces on Steam to play this mod. It's amazing. Thank you to the devs, the artists, and everyone who worked this project and made it possible. I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone on the creatives does next. Now that we're done with this part of the video, I want to thank everyone for the support on the Forces video. It seems like it resonated with most of you, but something I do want to talk about is a tweet that I saw randomly a couple days after I released the video. So basically, Twitter has these characters where they post a video thumbnail and fence it, and while the OP was actually in agreement with me, some people took it as another Forces Doom posting video. Apparently, according to Sonic Twitter, we aren't allowed to talk about gaming history anymore, and I have a lot of problems with this mindset for several reasons. I understand that people don't like Doom posting, I don't like Doom posting, but if you watched that video, you would know that it wasn't Doom posting. It was about how 90% of us Sonic fans felt during the game's release. I can't change history. In fact, most people I informed on Twitter ended up deleting their old tweets after they saw the video. Let's get something clear. I am not still upset about Forces being mediocre. I wish it wasn't mediocre, obviously, but if you think I'm still angry about it, then I don't know what to tell you. As I said in that video, I kinda like Forces now. It's far from what I would consider a great game, but it's still fun. It's a mid-tier game. That doesn't mean bad nor good. And on the complete other side of the argument, I've gotten a few comments saying that they would argue that Forces is a train wreck because of the time it was released. And while I get what you guys are trying to say, a mediocre game is not what a train wreck means. I don't think you guys really understand what that term is supposed to stand for.
Whoa, he descends way too fast. Yeah, we did.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What? But if that's how you feel, I won't stop you. Lastly, gaming history is one of, if not my favorite discussion topics, like, ever. I will never not talk about gaming history. Just because some losers Doom post about something doesn't mean the discussion is not allowed to be talked about in general. I will talk about it. Some people on Sonic Twitter who do nothing but tweet all day aren't going to stop me. But yeah, that was the Overclocked video. Thanks to all who got to this part. And I hate to ask this, but if you can subscribe and like the video, that'd be pretty cool. Anyways, nncreview signing out. See you guys in the next one.